Hello, everybody. Joe Bagadones here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Last time, Beatrice just spent the whole episode stirring the pot and causing relationship issues. Man, what a bitch, huh? I tried to record this episode yesterday, but I couldn't. I started it, I hit record, I said 2 sentences, and just said, no, it's not happening. It ain't gonna happen. That's mainly because I didn't have any coffee. Like, I was all out. I have 3 empty bags of coffee next to my coffee machine. I'm like, fuck. So, just went to Dunkin' Donuts today and bought 2 big bags. One pre-ground, I think the pre-ground was like French vanilla, and I just got the original blend as whole beans. Because I have a coffee grinder that I completely forgot about. It was literally covered in cobwebs in like the corner next to my toaster. But fucking busted that out. Made a nice hot pot of coffee that we are now, well, I'm gonna enjoy. You can have your own coffee if you want. We can share a cup through time and space together, you know. It's the feelings behind it that matter. What am I talking about? Anyway, I don't know. Story time. Let's go. Back to George and Shannon.
どういう意味ですか、ジョージさん。
言葉通りの意味だよ。僕はまだ自分の城を築き上げてない。
What?
それができて初めて、僕は一人前になれたと思えるんだ。
I mean, yeah, you're still living with your parents, I guess.
その時、君と結婚したい。
Hey, look at you, fucking big man making plans.
それは
でもそれじゃあ、もう僕の心が許せないんだ。
I mean, you do work helping with like your dad's company, don't you? That's gotta have a pretty good paycheck. You can get a mortgage on a place like no problem.
だから、君に
Especially in
婚約指
you
輪を
know,
贈りたい。
early mid-80s Japanese economy. Hell yeah, fucking housing bubble, it's going crazy. You can get as many houses as you want.
婚約ですか。でも私、家具ですし。
そうだったね。じゃあ、家具は人の言うことを聞かないとね。
Does it?
今、
Just kind of sits there and
君
does
に
its
贈
own
るの
thing.
にふさわしい指輪を作らせてる。多分、今度の親族会議の日には持っていけると思う。その時に送るから、どうか君の返事を聞かせてほしいんだ。
Well,
君が僕の婚約を受けてくれたら、僕はその席で、おじい様を含めた全ての親族の前で、君との婚約を
it would have
宣
been
言
a
する。
real good moment, but things
ジョ
gonna
ージ
happen.
さん。
君と僕の仲をふさわしくないと咎める人たちはきっといる。でも、
I mean,
そいつらの
the
顔
only
を見る
person
必要はない。
whose like opinion really matters is Kinzo's, and I doubt he's gonna give a shit.
君は
Mainly
その
because he
瞳
just
の
like
中
doesn't
に
care about you at all. So he'll be
僕
like,
だ
"Oh,
けを
whatever."
満たしていればいいから。君を必ず幸せにする。それだけは絶対に約束するから。
どのように実るのか楽しみでならない。
Okay, weird like Latin-esque chanting in the background.
熟に過ぎて腐り落ちる果実の駅に黄金の蝶たちは舞い降りる。
Bud and flowers.
今より収穫の日が待ち遠しい。宴の時はまだかまだか。
Like, why you like this? Don't you have any other hobbies? Like, fuck. I mean, I get being evil because it's fun, but like, come on, man. Well, here we go. October 4th. Just bored preparations. Eating breakfast at a coffee shop in the station building. By chance, the inside of the shop had been decorated with Halloween colors since it was October. Halloween's not really that big in Japan, especially in the 80s. I mean, it's kind of like Christmas. Like, yeah, they kind of do it, but it's like not really. It's weird. Japanese incorporation of like American/European holidays is kind of, I don't want to say whack, but it's, from an outside perspective, it's kind of like, huh. Like, I guess, sure, whatever, you do you, man. It seemed that Maria had really taken a liking to that. Ever since, she had been making a fuss inside the train about wanting to have a Halloween festival without caring that she was attracting the attention of others. Halloween is popular in Europe and America, but people are hardly familiar with it at all in Japan. Yeah. The shopping district was colorfully decorated with orange pumpkins. But the costume parades of children demanding sweets and saying trick or treat were nowhere in sight. Well, yeah, it's because it's not Halloween yet.
Halloween 祭りがしたい。
You know, it's not All Hallows Eve.
こんなお洋服やだ。魔女の格好がいい。
Gotta pray for those souls in purgatory in order to get your little raisin cakes or whatever.
親族会議は遊びじゃないのよ。おじいさまにお会いするんだから、ちゃんとしたお洋服じゃないとダメ。
Yeah, but why'd you dress her up like that? Well, it wasn't completely full inside the train. There were enough people here that almost all the seats were occupied. Among them, Maria was making a fuss and kicking her feet back and forth in her seat while Rosa scolded at her. As long as she's not kicking the seat in front of her, that's fine. Rosa told her many times in a low voice to stop, but Maria was taking no notice whatsoever. Once Maria gets this way, no matter how much you try to explain the situation or calm her, she doesn't listen. In the past, Rosa used to pamper Maria, give in to her at times like this. Nope, bad mistake. But that had probably been the problem. Almost certainly, the young Maria had formed the wrong impressions that if she kept complaining noisily, her mother would give in and listen to her. That error had been brought to Rosa's attention through an educational book, and since then, she had hardened her heart so as not to pamper her beloved daughter. But Rosa could manage less and less mutual understanding with Maria, and it had become more and more common that she felt discouraged by her own powerlessness. What is it? It's 84. We can watch Halloween the movie, and you can you can see how much you like it after Mike Myers stabs some people. I think, when did the first Halloween movie come out? 79? That sounds right off the top of my head. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, like you guys always do.
あなたにあげるお菓子はありません。さっき朝ごはんを食べたでしょ。
お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃう。お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃう。
Well, that's a fucking mouthful. It doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as Trick or Treat does, huh? As Maria kicked her feet, a stout old woman sitting in the seat across from Maria picked out a candy from her handbag and gave it to her.
お菓子もらえた。お菓子もらえた。見て見て、ママ。
Old people, huh? Best of intentions, but...
ハッピーハロウィーン。
ほらマリア、勝手に人からお菓子をもらっちゃダメでしょ。返しなさい。
いいんですよ。
I mean, little split here, you know, like, yeah, don't take candy from strangers, but, you know, there's, it's not all black and white.
元気なお嬢さんですこと。おいくつです？
Yeah, kids should be lively. There may not have been any malice in those words from the old woman, but it seemed that Rosa had taken them in an extremely humiliating way.
マリア、知らない人からお菓子をもらっちゃいけないっていつも言ってるでしょ。
おー、これはマリアがもらったの。やだ、マリアの。
話しなさい。ママの言うことを聞けっていつも言ってるでしょ。
マリアの。
Rosa, you need to fucking get some weed or something. Like, chill. Like, high strung.
その言うのをやめなさいって言ってるでしょ。
Rosa reflexively hit Maria violently on her cheek. In a flash, Maria started crying loudly. Rosa immediately snatched the candy from Maria's hand and stuck it out towards the dumbfounded old woman sitting next to them.
うちの子に勝手にお菓子を与えないでください。
ごめんなさい。
Breathing heavily, Rosa once again held the candy out to the old woman. The woman looked confused for a moment about what she should say, but then understood that perhaps her actions may have caused trouble for this parent and child, and she accepted the candy back, apologizing. Then, Rosa finally took notice of her surroundings. Yeah, you just kind of, like, just beat the shit out of your kid in public. Her daughter's clothes were all messed up, and she was crying and shouting with her nose dripping. There were many dumbfounded passengers watching them. Except for the sound of the train running, the rail car was completely silent. Fortunately, that pitiful silence didn't last more than a short while. However, in its place came an even more painful atmosphere as everyone whispered. Maria shouted, cried, and kicked and stomped her feet as usual, paying no heed to the people sitting around her. Impulsively, Rosa tried to slap her again, but she noticed the cold eyes of the people on the train and couldn't do that anymore. When the train stopped, Rosa got off, forcefully pulling Maria by the arm and almost dragged her along the ground. As usual, Maria didn't stop crying. Rosa took her to the end of the platform and hit her cheek again. Probably not the best go-to. Like, yes, hitting kids is bad. But, I mean, last resort, kind of like, hey, it's complicated. Just don't hate your kids, okay? Not that any of you ever are gonna have kids or get the chance. At the moment she was hit, Maria stopped crying for an instant, but before long, she shouted and cried even more than before. Rosa, whose emotions had exploded, grabbed Maria by her collar and pulled her hair as if to rip it out. Oh my god! Because you're a fucking psychopath. My god. Like, go out, have a drink, you know. I was gonna say smoke a little, but this is Japan, so that's felony, and you'd, go to jail. And, get laid. Holy shit. Along with those severe words, Rosa hit Maria's head over and over again. The more Maria cried and shouted, the more Rosa hit her. And the more Maria was hit, the more intensely she cried and shouted. I don't think that's the reason.
お客さん、いかがされましたか?
Yeah.
何かご用ですか?
You're causing a bit of a scene. One who timidly called to her was the station attendant. Rosa glared at him with a look that said, "Don't get into the problems of a mother and her child, stranger." The station attendant surely hadn't wanted to talk to her. However, Rosa had been yelling on the platform for a much longer time than she had imagined. Her emotional scolding had caused the passengers on the platform to advise the station attendant that it'd be a good idea to speak to her. Rosa yelled at the station attendant that they would get on the next train and not to bother them anymore. And then, finally, or maybe we should say for the second time, she noticed the passengers on the platform staring at her from the distance. Yeah, you're in public? Rosa sweated slightly. She felt the wind chill the sweat tormenting her. Maria was still crying, shielding her own head. No, unless the beating stopped, she'd probably keep crying forever. Yeah. You guys need to, like, go to, like, some family counseling.
私はまた
As Rosa recovered from the evil heat inside her head, she knew she had surrendered her soul to something bad again.
帰ってきて
Rosa fell to her knees and hugged Maria, whose face was all soggy with tears and mucus.
マリアごめんなさいごめんなさいママおかえりおかえり
Finally, Maria realized that her mother had turned back to being her mother. Then, she clung to her mother's body and cried, burying her face on her mother's chest.
悪いママを許して悪いママを許して本当にごめんなさいママをどうか嫌いにならないで
Well, you smacking her around doesn't make it any easier for her.
マリアは全然平気ママを嫌いになんかならないママはまた悪い魔女に乗り移られていただけ
Sure, let's go with that.
でもママが帰ってきたから
More like
平
being
気
possessed by a chemical imbalance, but
悪い魔女にママはまた乗り移られていたの、ごめんね本当にごめんね
for a long time, the two of them hugged each other, asking for forgiveness and sending words of forgiveness back. After a while, the two of them gradually calmed down and naturally drew their faces apart. Maria's face, Rosa's face, were both deep red after crying their eyes out.
マリアはハロウィンのお祭りがしたいのうんジョージお兄ちゃんやジェシカお姉ちゃんにかぼちゃマシュマロを見せてあげたかった
What, you mean like a peep? That was a sweet which had been alongside the cash register at the shop where they had eaten breakfast. It was a fancy sweet that had a big orange marshmallow in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern stuck on the end of a stick. Maria had wanted that and had insistently pestered for it. Rosa had disallowed it, saying there was no way she would buy such a sweet right after they had breakfast.
じゃあマリアこの町に売っているかどうかわからないけど降りて探してみようかママ大好き
I mean, you could have just gotten it and be like, yeah, you can have it like after lunch or something, I don't know.
ありがとう
Afternoon snack.
私もよマ
But
リ
you,
ア
but you gotta be good, you know.
愛し
Give and
てる
take, get a bargain with them. Like, if you're not good on the trip, you don't get it, so shut the fuck up. Truth was that they had no time to waste loitering around at a stopover station. If they had missed the airplane, it would fall half a day behind schedule. She should have left home with more time to spare, but she had ended up leaving late after spending too long choosing Maria's clothes. Because of that, Rosa had been a bit impatient since the morning. She looked at the clock. They should be getting on the next train immediately. But her daughter had firmly joined hands with her to go buy sweets together, and that hand was warm. To Rosa right now, it was more important to regrow her bonds with Maria. Maria was not only Rosa's beloved daughter, she was everything Rosa had. Fortunately, she could see that there was a big supermarket right in front of the station. Maybe she wouldn't be able to find a sweet exactly like that one, but Maria would probably accept something similar. Besides, Rosa couldn't show up with a face swelled from crying. She would have to fix her makeup.
あれと全く同じマシュマロは見つからないかもしれないけど似たようなお菓子があるといいねそれでいとこのみんなを一緒に驚かそうねうんママと一緒に買うお菓子なら何でもいい
Oh. Two of them left the turnstiles of the station in this unknown town. Rio walked along the pedestrian crossing together with her mother, feeling very pleased, as though she was walking in an amusement park. Both faces were still deep red, but warmth could be seen between the two of them, mother and child, as they smiled at each other awkwardly. Ah,
あな
old
た
Hirokinjima.
こんなところでどうされたのですか？
君か。何でもない。考え事をするのにここが少し心地よかっただ
Like
け
a
だ。
nice quiet place.
今日の準備はすべて手配が終わっています。あとはお茶でも飲みながらくつろいで待とうではありませんか。
すまん。君にいつも面倒なことをすべて押し付けている。
どうか私をもっと頼ってはいただけませんか。
I mean, he probably just doesn't want to stress you out, otherwise your head's gonna fucking explode.
私はあなたの
Like,
妻です。
literally.
無論君にはいつも助けられているし、感謝もしている。だからこそ、私は私の仕事に専念できる。
分かっています。お仕事のこと、そしてお父様の遺産の話ですね。
君には関係のないことだ。
And you're, like, highly likely embezzling of funds.
欲深な兄弟たちの腐肉の漁り合いに過ぎん。
大丈夫です。あなた、すべてうまくいきます。あなたのお仕事がうまくいかなかったことはありません。
As he softly cuddled close to Krause's shoulder. She spoke with words to reward Krause for the difficulties of his work, but Natsuki was herself the one who knew best that it wasn't going well. Krause's enterprises were something like a seesaw, where large amounts of money swung. A big investment leads to a large return. But the swaying of a large-scale seesaw is large yet sluggish, not something which shows immediate results. At times, he would make more investments so that the seesaw inclined faster towards the good side. Naturally, he did that because he had the confidence that, in the not-so-distant future, he would be able to recover all the investments made. However, the seesaws Krause chose never turned out as well as he would have liked them to. His foresight wasn't wrong, but times were slow. It never caught up with him. For example, think of a literal seesaw placed in a park. Due to its great popularity, there was always someone playing on it, so if he wanted to play, he'd have to wait a long time for his turn. And then, one day, he found that seesaw vacant, straddled it, realizing he was the first to arrive and had it all to himself. However, nobody got on the opposite end of the seesaw, so he couldn't play on it. And no matter how much time passed, nobody came to the opposite side of the seesaw. The seesaw is a popular piece of playground equipment, so if you waited, another person would definitely show up. Yeah, but that waiting is painful. Krause noticed. The weather looked like it was getting worse. That's why nobody was coming out to play. But the seesaw is a popular piece of playground equipment, so someone would definitely come. If he vacated his place because the weather seemed to be getting worse, somebody would definitely snatch his place away. And he would end up only longingly gazing from a distance as someone else having fun playing on the seesaw again. On one side of the seesaw, he continued to wait patiently, all alone. That was Krause's current enterprise and situation.
私にもう少しの勇気と自分の先見性を信じる自信があればいつだって失敗はしなかった。
Hey man, some investments are just like that. I mean, and you know, sometimes you just fuck up and you lose a lot of money. Oops. Thanks, Dad, for telling me to invest in Coinbase when it was at like $300 a share, and now it's down to like 30, and it's never gonna go back up. That was cool. Normally, my dad's really good with that kind of thing. He listens to like all the investment like podcasts and radio shows and stuff. But that one, crypto crash. Don't invest in crypto, kids. Bad idea. Stick with traditional investments. Build up your 401k.
ええ、そうです。 あなたの先見性は
Fuck, though,
い
even
つも
then,
間
my,
違っていません。
my retirement plan's been in the shitter recently. My God.
あなただけが
Like
お
the
父
past
様
couple
の才覚
quarters,
を受
it's
け
all
継い
been
だの
like,
です。
well, you've invested like to $8,000 these past few quarters, and your total return is minus $1,500. It's like, fuck.
他の兄弟たちが誰も受け継がなかった天性のものを
Ah,
受け継がれ
it
た。
stings. I don't like looking at it.
なのに私はそれを信じられず、いつも臆病に自らの事業を畳んできた。なぜ自分
You
を信じる
flinched.
ことがで
You
きないのか。
flinched.
自分を信じられない男を誰が信じる。誰も信じない。私はいつも敗者の座るべき椅子に自ら座り、親父にもおふくろにも兄弟たちにも笑われる。
Well, your mom's dead, so I doubt she's doing that.
私はいつになったらこのコンプレックスから解放されるのだ。いつになったら。
Only Natsuhi knew. She knew of Krause's anguish. As the eldest son of the Ushiromiya family, who would have to shoulder a big responsibility, he couldn't open his pained heart to anybody, and would always be compared to his father's great enterprises.
あなたが親族会議に専念できるよう、すべての手配を済ませています。すべて。
すまん。親父殿の件は。
Well, maybe if you weren't such a fucking douchebag, you know, maybe your siblings would actually, like, be willing to help you out.
問題ないかね。
はい。源氏と南條先生は私たちの味方です。あの強欲な兄弟たちを決してお父様には合わせません。
もしもし。
Oh,
Hi,
Yoda,
Yoda
yeah,
です。
you're a person.
お任せくだ
It's
さい
weird。seeing you alive.
年に一度の大仕事に腕が鳴っております。
Ingredients of varied colors had been gathered in the kitchen, and the preliminary arrangements had already been started. Even though it was still morning, the ingredients for dinner were already in saucepans and steaming. Normally, he had to deal with several assorted matters other than cooking, but on the day of the family conference, he could devote himself to it entirely. To Goda, who was originally a chef, this was surely the greatest gala occasion of the whole year.
ディナーには子牛のステーキを。素晴らしい肉がすでに保冷庫で今夜を待ちわびておりますよ。
And bro, why you gonna make me hungry?
まかないも今夜はぜひ期待してください。
It was rare for Goda to be in this good of a mood towards his fellow servants. To Goda, who boasted about being a chef who worked exclusively for the Ushiromiya family, being given the right to show off his cooking to the at the family conference was the greatest honor.
わかった。任せるのでよろしく頼む。あと、熊沢がそちらにいないか。
熊沢さんですか。先ほど見かけましたが、こちらにはおりません。ゲストハウスの方へ準備に行かれたのではないでしょうか。
また油を売っているのか。
She's old man.
いや、結構だ。では引き続きよろしく頼む。
万事、この豪太にお任せを。
The trick is to, you know, do nothing while making it look like you're not doing nothing. Thinking of Kumasawa, who was no doubt hiding and slacking off even though things were this busy, and the ostentatious Goda, who only felt like doing anything on a day where he could show off, Genji sighed once again.
失礼します。ゲストハウスの各お部屋の準備が整いました。
お嬢様より
Well, at least you two are
お子
vaguely
様方が泊まれ
reliable.
るよう4人分の用意をするようにとのご指示を賜りましたが、
今年は6年ぶりにバトラ様がお見えになるそうだ。お嬢様もいとこ4人で夜更かしをされたいのだろう。準備するように奥様にはお伝えしなくてよい。
Shh. Keep it on the
そうで
DL.
すね。かしこまりました。
今夜は深夜勤で、そのまま明日は早朝勤か。
Yeah, fucking rough.
しんどい2日間になりそうだな。
そういえば、台風が直撃するって天気予報で言っていますね。大丈夫でしょうか。
台風がよほどそれない限り、場合によっては親族の皆様方のお帰りの船に響くだろう。親族会議の日程が月曜か火曜あたりまで
Grody.
長引くかもしれない。
You guys at least gonna get overtime?
長丁場になるだろうが、皆くれぐれも粗相のないように頼む。
I know you guys get days off, but are they like paid days off? Like, what's your annual vacation days? Like, do they stack? Can you carry them over to the next year? Do they end at like the fiscal year? You guys unionized?
はい。注意します。
注意します。
大切なお客様がお越しになられる日だ。くれぐれも粗相がないように。
心得ています。いつだって。ここには大切なお客様しか訪れませんから。
Yeah, they all have sprites.
カノン、今日は本当の意味で大切なお客様を迎える。心構えを改めるように。
はい。
シャノン、どうした？さっきから何かそわそわしているようだが、何か時間の約束でもあるのか？
いえ、なんでもありません。失礼いたしました。
姉さん、今日は大切なお客様がお越しになる日なんだよ。プライベートとは切り離すようにね。
She's about to get
プライベー
wild.
トなんか知りません。
As Shannon blushed just a bit, she turned her gaze away from the clock. It was about time for the airplane carrying the family to arrive in Nijima. She thought she had been hiding the fact that her long-awaited reunion with George was making her heart palpitate, but Cannon, who stood at her side, understood her perfectly. Yeah, you're not being very subtle with it. It's quite the open secret.
Shannon, これを黙って受け取ってくれ。
Fucking practicing in a bathroom stall. Fucking weirdo. Inside a bathroom stall, George was practicing something over and over, taking out a small velvet box hidden in his pocket like a quick-draw desert gunman.
違うな。シャノンは牽引力のある男性が好きなんだ。もっと馬力がある感じじゃないとダメだ。
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
シャノン、これを薬指につけるんだ。命令だよ。
Yeah, no.
左手とちゃんと言わない
Not your
と
style.
右手にされちゃうかもしれない。いや、シャノンもそこまでかまととじゃないけど、でも少しは自由意志がないとなんだかその、
It wouldn't mean as much. As he crossed his arms, moaning and groaning, someone knocked on the door. George was startled back to reality.
Oh, ジョージ君。
You good?
大丈夫か？腹の調子でも悪いのか？
ルドルフおじさん。大丈夫です。平気です。
I mean, best to get out of your system before you get on the plane.
ご心配は無用です。
そっか。ならいいんだけどね。無理して力みすぎるなよ。尻が切れちまうぜ。
Literally, don't. You'll like fucking pop a hemorrhoid. It's rough. You never want to like you're doing your business and then it looks like someone fucking burst a cherry tomato in the toilet paper. I'm skipping lines, thinking about the times my ass has been bleeding. Hold on. George knew that the most embarrassing part hadn't been overheard, and he patted his chest in relief.
まだよ。遅いわね。
天候調整中だからいいようなものを。
I mean, you could ask, like, I mean, your good old Uncle Rudolph seems like a smooth operator. You know, you could probably ask him for some advice on how to pop this question.
これで普段通りのダイヤだったらあい
He
つ
seems cool enough to keep it
乗り
on
遅
the
れちま
DL
うぜ
from your folks.
そしたらどうする気なんだあいつ。
ローザさんだっていい年の大人よ。
You should just put Maria on her back and fucking swim to the island.
なんとかするわ。兄って人はいくつになっても妹を子供扱いなのね。
親父だっていくつになっても子供だけどな。
だと？
Nothing wrong with that.
俺が子供ならおめえは赤ん坊じゃねえか。 ほれほれバトラちゃん高い高い
Don't hurt your back if you're trying to pick him up.
くすぐってやめ
親子ってより悪ガキ仲間って感じね。
ほらいらしたわよ。
おおお餃子さんやないか
Yeah, better late than never.
マリアちゃん久しぶりやの
久しぶり。
マリアお久しぶりですでしょ。言ってごらん。
Yeah, you don't want to get another concussion.
お久しぶりです。
そうやよく言えたな。ご褒美に飴玉あげような。あれどこにしまったんや。
ローザさん、お久しぶりです。
Probably ate them all.
マリアちゃんもお
I have
久
that
しぶ
bad
り。
habit. Like, if I have candy on me, like, I can't save it. It's just gone. Same with gum. I'm a fucking psychopath, and
ご無沙汰して
somehow
ま
I
す
just end up
キリエ姉さ
swallowing
ん
it.
秀吉兄さん。
Like just the other week, I went through an entire pack of juicy fruit in like an afternoon.
とあらバトラ君大きくなったわね。
いやー今日は会うたびに言われてて恥ずかしいっすよ。
Well, you did fucking shoot up like a weed from what we've heard.
おうローザ遅かったな。飛行機がダイヤ通りだったらギリギリってとこだったぜ。
ごめんなさい。列車の接続がうまくいかなくて。
Yeah.
何？また天候調査中なの？
ぼやかないぼやか
Well,
な
yeah,
い。
you're riding the edge of like a typhoon. You know, you
船で
gotta
6時間も揺られるくら
be
いなら
careful of these
飛
things.
行機でほんの30分の方がずっとマシよ。たとえ1時間余計に待たされたって全然早いんだから。
あれがマリアなのか。大きくなったな。成長期か。
Well, at least her body has.
前に会ったのは6年前。それは変わるわよ。女は心変わりがあればたった1日でも生まれ変わる生き物よ。
Maria noticed a big man who she didn't remember mixed among the relatives and hid behind Rosa's back, glaring at Battler.
おいバトラ挨拶しろい。前にやったのが3歳の時じゃ。初対面も同じだぞ。
Yeah, kids, you know. 3, that's about the time you can start making memories, but, you know, remembering some fucking relative from when you're 3, skipping 4 or 6 years, no chance.
3歳じゃ覚えてねえよな。よ、マリア。久しぶり。大きくなったな。
マリア、バトラーお兄ちゃんよ。ルドルフおじさんの息子さん。わかる？
おじさんの息子さんが。
Yep, make the connection, start drawing
お
the
じさ
lines.
んが息子さん。
Your cousin. She was obviously on her guard. She must have found it frightening for a large guy like Battler to suddenly start speaking frankly to her. Battler noticed that as well, and thought of various ways he might approach her. Then, he noticed the sweet she had in her hand. It was the jack-o'-lantern sweet that Rosa had bought for her.
そっか。10月だからハロウィンか。お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞ。
If you try and take a treat away from a small child, normally you'd expect them to cry and start a fuss. The adults thought that method wasn't good, but surprisingly, Maria looked pleased, her face splitting into a wide grin.
ハロウィンハロウィン。ほらママ、バトラもハロウィン知ってる。ほらほら。
こら、バトラーお兄ちゃんと
Battler's
呼
a
び
bit
な
of
さ
a
い。
more of a salt of the earth kind of person, so
ごめんね、バトラ
you know,
君。
I'd expect him to.
いやいや、俺はバトラと呼んでくれ。俺もマリアって呼ぶからな。ほらマリア、ハロウィンだぞ。お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞ。
So talking about Halloween, it makes me really want some
お
pumpkin.
菓子をくれなきゃいたずら
Like
しちゃう
pumpkin
ぞ。
stew is pretty fucking good. Pumpkin spice stuff, really good too. I'm not much of like a pumpkin spice latte person because it's got too much sugar and it makes my teeth hurt. But like a pumpkin like spiced pound cake, that's From inside her handbag, Maria picked out a jack-o'-lantern sweet identical to the one she had in her hand and presented it to Battler. It seemed that Battler accepting it was enough to confirm their friendship. The adults felt admiration at how children have their own ways of communicating. To Maria, who had been complaining that she wanted to have a Halloween festival, it must have felt like Battler was a friend since he knew about trick-or-treat. Her defensive posture from before was completely gone. Now, she was all merry, as though they had been friends for decades.
そうだな。日本じゃハロウィンってマイナーなイベントだよな。仮装行列で練り歩くなんて向こうのニュースではよく見るけど、日本じゃ見たことないぜ。
Mm-hmm.
マリアも仮装した
Speaking of
かっ
that,
た。
Halloween's in like a week and a half, and I need to buy the candy before it's too late. And the only thing left is like fucking candy corn and like those mystery candies that are just in like the plain black and orange wrappers that no one knows like exactly what they are, but they've been around for like 1,000 years.
仮装していとこみんなでお菓子をくれなきゃいたずら
And
しちゃ
because
う
I'm a
って
cool
やりたか
guy
っ
who's
た。
pretty frugal with my money, I can afford to get the full-size candy bars for putting out in the bowl. I'm in a pretty like tucked away little neighborhood, so the foot traffic isn't that big. So I just toss the bowl out with a sign saying to just take whatever.
そっかそっか。今度俺と一緒にやろうな。マリアだったら何の仮装をして練り歩きたい？
魔女ベアトリーチェ。
Well, let's see if you'll live to Halloween. Hey, Beatrice.
おや、お嬢様、こんなところに。奥様が探しておいででしたよ。
探されたくねえからこんなところにいるんだぜ。
Well, you're in the entrance hall, so you're not in a very tucked away spot
ど
now,
う
are
せ
you?
みなりは大丈夫かとか、言葉遣いをちゃんとするようにとか、お小言が言いたいだけに違いないぜ。
Correct.
違いありません。
私はさ、なぜか親族会議の日になると、この魔女様が気になるんだよ。
ほう、それはまたどうしてでございましょう。
親族会議ってのは、じい様に連なるすべての一族老頭が集まる日だ。今年は6年ぶりにバトラも来るそうじゃねえか。そんな感じでさ、何十年かぶりに、今までずっと姿を現さなかった親族が、ひょっこりと現れるんじ
You
ゃない
think
かって。
the the
いつも
quote
思ってん
unquote
だよ。
from your perspective real Beatrice might just pop out of the woodworks and be like, hey.
ほほう、そんな親族がおりますでしょうか。
Yeah, could a 19th person truly exist?
ベアトリーチェ様だよ。素性は誰も知らない。あるいは、大昔のじい様の愛人なのか。その子孫がひょっこりと現れて、授けた黄金を返せなんて言い出すかもしれないぜ。
Mm-hmm.
クラウス様たちは親方様の遺産問題で今年も議論されるでしょうから。
Yeah.
こうも魔女の黄金の話で盛り上がっては、黄金を与えた魔女本人がそろそろおいでになってもおかしくありませんね。
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy though?
熊沢さんは
If
さ、
the witch showed up, man, that'd be wild.
辞めたり勤めたりと忙しいけど、現実さん並みに昔からここに出入りしてるわけでしょ。ベアトリーチェのこと、もっと知ってるんじゃないの？
さて、どう
Not creepy at all.
思い出そうにもこの老いぼれ、今朝の朝食すらも思い出せませんので。
Pretty shrewd for someone who is kind of on the way out in the upstairs department.
熊沢さんはいっつもそういう言い方で逃げるけど、何か知ってそうなんだよな。知ってて物陰で笑ってるみたいな陰湿な雰囲気が時々するぜ。
これは手厳しい。隠し事など何もしておりません。私から申し上げられることは、ベアトリーチェ様は黄金の魔女であられて、
Mm-hmm.
この島の夜を支配されているもう一人の主人であられる
Stop talking shit.
ということだけでございます。
Oh, she's gonna find out.
じい様の受け売りかよ。給料もらってるとはいえ、じい様の妄言に付き合うのも大変だ
It's
な。
like working at Disneyland.
ただ、これだけは申し上げられます。
何？
The witch is real.
六軒島は太古の昔、小豆島と呼ばれて恐れられてきました。
How horrifying, not Azuki Bean Island.
小豆は悪食がなまったものと言われ、本当は悪食島と呼ばれていたのだと、漁民たちの間では伝えられておりました。
前にも聞いたよ。この辺は暗礁が多くて
What, it, like,
海難
eats
事故
people
が多かった
alive?
から、
Yeah.
領民たちが恐れてむやみに近づかなかったって話だろ。
悪食島には悪霊が住み着いていて、太古この島に関わり命を奪われた人間はあまりにも多いのです。
それを旅の修験者だかなんだかが例の社を作って鎮魂したんで収まったってんじゃなかったっけ？
Oh, about that.
うさんくせえ話だぜ。
その鎮魂の社はこの夏、暗き闇を引き裂く紫色の不気味な雷で打ち砕かれたと。
May have had a little assistance on that front.
熊沢さん、その話好きだな。確かに鎮魂の社が落雷でなくなっちまうなんて不気味だが、まあもともとオンボロだったしな。ちょっと高い波にでもさらわれたんじゃねえのかな。
眠りから目覚めた悪食島の悪霊がベアトリーチェ様を呼び寄せたのです。もしベアトリーチェ様が親族会議に訪れられるようなことがあったなら。
あったなら
Kumasawa kept silent for a moment there. Jessica, who wanted her to keep going, found the silence very eerie. Once Kumasawa was satisfied that she had spooked Jessica just the right amount, she grinned broadly.
はてさて、どんなことになるやら。
へえ、そいつは素敵じゃないかよ。
でしょ？
Look at this office.
たまには優雅な時間を得て、あなたの心を豊かにするのも、あなたの仕事に役に立つんじゃないかしら。
だな。心と財布は豊かじゃなきゃいけねえ。わかったよ。その日は開けておくことにする。
They keep a fat wallet.
予約を頼むぜ。
わかったわ。絶対よ。
ああ、よろしく頼む。愛してるぜ、キリエ。
We flash back? Yeah, we flash back. After kissing the receiver, Rudolph hung up. In front of his seat, there were many executives with their sleeves rolled up, eagerly awaiting the end of that phone call.
すまん、待たせたぜ。アメリカから連絡は来たか？
はい。凱旋にデイル渡辺弁護士からです。
Dale Watanabe。
おつなぎします。
結局のところ、感触はどうなんだ？
それが一つ芳しくないようでして。先方は裁判をも辞さないつもりのようです。
やっぱりごまかしきれねえかな。繋いでくれ。
わかりました。すぐに。
The executive ordered the secretarial office to connect him to the external line. Immediately, the telephone in front of Rudolph started ringing.
もしもし。ハローハロー。お待たせしました。後宮です。どうもどうも。いかがですか、そちらは。
Hello, President 後宮。挨拶は抜きで本題に入りましょう。いいニュースと悪いニュースがありますが、どちらを先にしますか？
悪いニュースが先がいいな。
Sure, yeah.
デザートがないと頑張れないたちなんだ。
わかりました。悪いニュースは先方が当方を告発する準備に入ったということです。つい先日、類似した裁判で原告が圧勝する判決が出されました。被告側も当方が主張するのとほぼ同じ内容で論戦していたのですが、全てにおいて却下されました。
Legal precedence. Yikes.
残念ながら、このまま法廷に臨めば当方の主張はことごとく却下される可能性が極めて高いでしょう。
例の裁判、全滅だったか。うちより有利な条件だったと思ってたんだが、そりゃ辛いな。
Talk about an uphill battle.
で、いいニュースは？
先方の幹部と接触できました。先方に当方の立ち位置を説明し、先方のブランドイメージを侵害する意図がないことを説明し、 理解を得ることができました。
Okay.
先方は近日中に条件提示を行い、それらの履行が行われるなら告発を見送ると約束しました。取締役会のナンバー2による発言です。
感触は
正直非常に厳しいものになると予想されます。
I mean, but which is worse?
双方の想定では避けられないものとして社名変更、
To get like
ブランド名変更、
dragged through the mud in a public trial, or to, you know, just hush hush under the table and fucking take the blows on the chin.
交渉の余地のあるものとして若い金額、大手新聞への謝罪広告掲載、それらの履行期間と見ています。
うちに潰れろと一言言やいいのに、周りくどい奴らだぜ。
先方は近年2代目社長に交代したばかりで、まだ足固めが終わっていません。当方が徹底抗戦した場合、現社長に失点を与えたい勢力が何らかの利的工作をしかねないと懸念しています。そのため、先方トップも本件を速やかに解決したいという思惑があるようです。そのため迅速な和解のために多少の条件緩和を引き出せる余地も残っているかもしれません。
Okay.
いずれに
It's
せ
not
よ
great.
とんでもねえ
Like,
金が
definitely
必
be
要になる
considered in the bad category, but you know, any fight you can walk away from is can be considered a win in my book.
その覚悟は必要です。そしてそれでも懲罰的賠償金よりははるかに安いかと。
ありがとう先生。また進展があったら連絡してください。先生は高級鳥だからヨタ話もできねえ。サンキューサンキュー。グッバイ。
Rudolph hung up the phone. It seemed that the executives sitting in the reception seats could guess what had been said.
聞こえたか野郎ども。まあそうじるとだ。金さえ積みや堪忍してやるぜってわけだ。あとは金の高だけを争点にすりゃいい。
しかし社長、渡辺氏の示した和解金の想定額はあまりにも膨大です。
Well, if we get a down payment on the inheritance, then it's not
そ
going to
れ
be
だ
an
けの
issue.
余裕はありません。
こんなことになるって分かってたら多角化なんて始めんじゃなかったぜ。
3年しのげれば資金的危機は脱出できる計算でした。まさかここで刺されるなんて本当についてない。
ホップステップジャンプのステップでこけちまったんだもんな。泣けるぜ。
メインバンクから金を引っ張るしかありません。
銀行はまずいな。
Why?
連中は勝ち馬にしか金を出さん。
Yeah, fair.
景気は上向いてるが銀
It's
行
going to
に
be
弱
tough
みを
to
見せ
get
ら
a
れ
loan
る。
in your current position.
社長、母外に資金はありますか？我々の把握していない資金です。
Any any rainy day funds tucked away?
よせやい。俺がそういう男に見えるかよ。俺の財布の中身は全てお前らに晒してるぜ。そこにある帳簿が我が社の全てだ。
なら金策が必要です。数百万ドル単位を引っ張れるスポンサーが大至急必要です。
社長の交友関係でなんとかなりませんでしょうか。
Yeah, can't you use your connections?
社長。
ああ、落ち着けて
Yeah,
めえ
one
ら。
at a time, one at a time.
金策は俺が何とかする。お前らはガタガタせずに業務を維持しろ。金さえ積めば向こうは許すと言ってるんだ。すでに俺たちはアジアに太いパイプを持ってる。いろいろ響くだろうが取引は維持できる。要は金さえ積めりゃ全て解決できる問題なんだ。見てろ、俺が全て解
Money can
決する。
solve anything.
お前らを路頭に迷わせなんかしねえぞ。大船に乗った気でいろい。無事に解決したらお前ら全員をシャンパンタワーでねぎらってやるぜ。
Even gonna have some left over for a Christmas bonus?
約束する。だから黙って俺についてこい。いいな。
The airplane suddenly shook, probably because of turbulence. Shaking roused Rudolph from his sleep. He had woken up early that morning and ended up drifting off to sleep while resting in his seat.
大丈夫？まだだいぶ眠いんじゃないの？このところだいぶ仕事が忙しかったようだし。
仕事が忙しいなんて多い。俺が暇になっちまったら俺たち明日から路頭に迷うぜ。
そうね。バトラ君も帰ってきたんだから、2人で物乞いすればいいって問題じゃないわよ。
そうだな。 6年ぶりに家族が揃ったんだからな。家族水入らずで過ごせるよう課長が頑張らねえと。
When he looked outside the window, he saw that the airplane was already starting to drop in altitude considerably. The fishing boats, The fishing boats, which had only looked like black grains until a short while ago, had become clearly visible.
親父に土下座してげんこつ一発で1000万借りられるなら1ダースくらいもらっときてえところなんだからさもなきゃとっととお隠れになってくれりゃいいんだが散々すねをかじって今度は遺産目当てか。
What an ingrate.
俺は地獄行きだ。そりゃこんな俺に親父も会いたくはないだろうよ。
まさか今年も親族会議にお出にならないつもりですかな。
Nope. Nanjo looked at Kinzo's face, sighing. Kinzo's eyes remained rooted on those strange magic books.
Yeah,
my dude's gonna be too busy fucking slamming absence and, like, just reading magic books.
好きに我が骨のしゃぶり方でも議論するがよかろう。実にくだらぬ。
やれやれ、困ったものですな。
Nanjo shook his head slightly. To him, children and grandchildren were to be adored, and he believed that their growth was the only enjoyment for old men. He found Kinzo's words to be a very sad thing.
この部屋を出るべき時が来れば私は姿を現す。あれが姿を未だ現さぬようにな。
Kinzo raised his face, and in the direction of his gaze was the portrait of the witch, respectfully displayed on the wall. Inside Kinzo's head, there was no conception of today being the day of the family conference, the day when all his dear family would gather together. There was only one face, There was only the face of the witch in the oil painting, who never smiled outside her portrait. Everybody knew that when Kinzo talked about Beatrice, unnecessarily cutting in would instigate his wrath.
私は今日、ある儀式を執り行う。
それは何ですかな？
儀式というよりは博打に近い。なぜなら、リスクを負わぬ魔法に奇跡は宿らぬからだ。
Nanjo had already heard this countless times. He would call it Kinzo's favorite phrase. It seemed that Kinzo believed in magic and miracles arising through betting his own fate with a certain kind of risky probability in beating the odds.
かつて黄金のギャンブラーと言われた金蔵さんがいつお迎えが来てもおかしくないそのご老体で一体どんな博打に挑みますやら。これは見ものですな。
Well, you might not like the outcome.
なるほど。研究を尽くした秘術の儀式も魔法にたけぬお前にかかれば博打呼ばわりか。まあいい。奇跡を信じる私が勝てば、お前の目には水鏡にしか見えなかったであろう我が研究のすべてが、この日に結実したことをはっきりと理解できるだろう。お前が勝てば、見たままの通り、いつ迎えが来てもおかしくない年寄りの水鏡に終わるだけだ。
一体どんなギャンブルを始めるやら。あなたの友人としてその賭けに、いや儀式でしたか。その儀式にあなたが勝てるよう心からお祈りするだけです。
Well, very nice of you for being willing to die for your friend's magic.
感謝する。
そういえば金蔵さん、今年の親族会議には懐かしい客がおられるそうですな。
何？
Wait, did you hear that through the grapevine? Or did you just mean Valor? Kinzo reacted in an unusual way to Nacho's words and turned around.
ほら、ルドルフさんのところのバトラ君です。
Don't go getting his hopes up.
6年ぶりにおいでになるそうじゃありませんか。
Who? I don't fucking care.
きっと立派になっていますよ。
なんだ、バトラーか。6年ぶり程度の客人など、懐かしいなどと呼びはせぬ。
Upon hearing Battler's name, he showed an ill-humored expression, as though he had been let down, and turned his back to Nanjo again.
金蔵さんにとっての6年など、この部屋で研究に没頭すれば、あっという間のことでしょうからな。
本当に懐かしい客は、あるいは訪れるかもしれん。すべてはルーレットの出目次第だ。すでにルーレットは回り始めている。ルージュか、ノワールか。
It's gonna land on... Where are we going? French here? What's French for green? I know verdant is like the English like adjective for something that's green. Is it verde? I don't know.
今宵ルーレットがどんな奇跡を見せてくれるのか楽しませてもらおうではないか。
Actually curious. Let's Google it. Been a while since I've done this, huh? French for green. Nope, not green. Vert. That was close. Oh god. It's got a masculine and feminine. Vert. Vert. Cool. Now we know. Oh,
配当は大きいぞ。そして負ける気はせぬ。ベアトリーチェよ。我が賭けを受けるがいい。
I mean, she's kind of playing with a stacked deck. Just then, the telephone on the table rang. That piercing noise seems to displease Kinzo. He picked up the receiver in order to preserve the silence as much as he could.
何事か。私は忙しい。
現時でございます。親族の皆様方が到着。
だからどうしたというのだ。適当に茶でも出せばよい。
かしこまりました。そのように。
Don't you want to come out and see him? Kinzo hung up the phone rudely. Watching him, Nanjo sighed yet again and shifted his attention outside the window. As he was now, Kinzo would probably show no interest in any kind of guest. Was there any guest who could make Kinzo agree to come out when he should? He had only one person in mind, and that guest was one who could not possibly appear. After a glance at the witch of the portrait, and her candid expression which he could not place as happy or sad, Nanjo gazed up at the leaden sky. Ooh. Oh, hello, we're back to the tea party? Now then, are all the pieces all lined up? Let us start a new game with all the pieces all lined up once more.
何か問題は？
ねえよ。
The witch looked at him in challenge, while elegantly smoking her pipe. And Battler? He just slovenly shrugged his shoulders as though she wasn't worth his time. He wouldn't look her in the eyes. That didn't mean he wasn't gonna play. It signified his plain determination to never be taken in by the artifices of this while being... Never being taken in by the artifices of this being he faced. Okay. Being, not being. It was an expression of his powerful determination to fight.
まさか無策ではあるまいな。
お前の出方がわからない以
Not
上
having a plan is a plan, because you can never predict his plan if there's no plan to begin with.
好きに先手を取ればいいじゃねえか。
もちろんそうさせていただくぞ。お前の守りをいかに崩すか、何手で詰めるか、わらわの腕の見せ所よ。
お前がどんな手で来ようが、俺はお前を信じない。
Yeah, witches can't exist.
その一点を俺が貫き通す限り、俺に負けはない。ってことはだ。このゲームは お前に勝てないようにできてるぜ。
そうかもしれん。しかしな、ゲームを何度繰り返すかはわらわが決めるぞ。そしてわらわが勝ち、そなたが負けを認めるまで何度でも繰り返されるぞ。つまりこれは災難よ。
Like, what's
そなたが
the
わらわ
rules of
に
the tournament are
屈服する
just
ま
it
で
keeps
続く
repeating until you
永
decide that
遠
you
の
won?
災難。
Or is it until one just taps out?
そなたがわらわを魔女の存在を認めるまで永遠に続く。
なら俺もお前が根負けするまで何度でも無限に付き合ってやるぜ。意地の張り合いってやつでは負けた例がねえんだ。
I mean, how many Battle of Wills have you been in? You're like 18, my guy.
どこぞの魔女にでも入れ知恵されたかまあよい。
コタクは聞き飽きたぜ。さあ、おっ始めやがれ。
さあ、始めようではないか。そなたの指し手はすでに知り尽くしておる。
Yeah, Battler seems like a pretty easy
手
guy
の
to
内
read.
を知られた守りなどたかが知れておる。同じ手でしのぎきれると思うでないぞ。
ベアトリーチェ、一つだけ最初に言っておくことがある。
なんだ。
お前が何をのたまおうと自由だ。だが俺が信じるかどうか常
Yeah,
に
you can't put words in
俺
his
が
mouth.
自分で決める。貴様の魔法がどれほどのものだったとしても俺の魂は屈しない。これは俺への拷問だとな。違うね。
No greater pleasure.
ならばなんだというのか。
これはお前への拷問なのさ。お前がいつ俺に屈し諦めるか、それまで繰り返される拷問なのさ。
面白いかな、その例えやよし。互いを苛み合う拷問とは実に面白い。さーて始めようではないか。後ろ宮バトラー。
I mean, you guys are just sitting across from the table, grandstanding at each other. I mean, very dramatic in this perspective, but, you know, if you're in the room just looking at them, they look like a bunch of fucking psychos. But with that, with round 2 now afoot, that is where we're going to end it here for today, because it's already in the afternoon, and I have work later, and I need to get ready for it. But so with that, this is where we will part. Once again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you all next time for the next episode of Umineko, where we will see how this game is going to play out. See you guys all then. Later. Bye. Bye.